Hello, hello everyone. Welcome. So, this is the long-awaited tarot reading. I'm not going to go into specific signs. I'm just going to leave it open. I got new a new tarot deck for the new year. David got me a tarot deck for Christmas. So, we're going to use this one. Um, I know that since the last time I've done a tarot reading for you guys on YouTube, it's been years. So you're at a different place. I'm at a different place. We have a new deck. Let's see what we have. Uh, I have a new spread. Uh, put, I'm not gonna tell you every position in the spread. Like I'm not gonna make it each position this time. I'm just gonna leave it open. However, there is gonna be a little guide. I hope you understand what I'm talking about, but you will in a minute. So this tarot spread, the inspiration came from David. He was doing it one night. He was doing a spread one night and made this one up. And then I was like, oh, I kind of like part of that. So I'm taking part of it, and then the rest I'm going to kind of leave open. So the way the spread goes is there's going to be your higher self position, and then there's going to be what I call your soul. And that is you with your ego in the physical, uh, and its wants and desires and needs and that, if that makes sense. And then this is your higher self, which is, I mean, we're always connected to the universe, to God, to source, to, the one. But this is sort of has like the main themes of your life, I guess you can say, or the overall what you are really trying to accomplish aside from what your ego desires and what's physically happening to you. So I hope that makes sense. Uh, Again, this is a new spread I just made up. And then the cards surrounding it will kind of give us a hint, or let's see what we get. I'm kind of leaving it open. Um, and yeah, I'm starting to channel. Sorry, Spirit's starting. My connection is starting to get uh where I'm just channeling. So I'll forget like my introduction. Anyway, you guys know me. You've known me. Once I start getting quiet or looking to the side, my friends all know too. Uh, when I start looking to the side or I start getting quiet or I start humming, that's when I'm really like channeling. All of a sudden something's coming in. So, uh, I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle the cards in front of you guys. These cards are a little like slippery, so and I haven't handled them. They're a brand new deck. I've had I've handled them a little bit, but I haven't handled them a lot, and so they may slip out. We'll see what happens. So let's leave it open to the universe. Let's see where you've come from, where you're at, where you're going. This is a big group one, so this isn't for necessarily, it's always for you specifically if you find this, but it isn't necessarily like, oh, this is for the Taurus and this is for the Aquarians and this is for, it's not any of that. So let's see what we get. Five of Cups. So let me see. Again, these are kind of hard to shuffle. They're beautiful cards. Like you can, hold on. You can see them. They're beautiful cards. They're gold. But let's see how they show on the camera. Because I'm using two webcams. So no DSLRs, no big equipment. We're just gonna do it old school like we used to, right? Do you guys remember when I first got on my Your Path channel? Yeah, that was a mess. Y'all were so loving. Y'all were so wonderful and loving. And you just accepted me and my crazy antics. Didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I knew what I was doing reading tarot and channeling, but I didn't know what I was doing being on YouTube. Anyway, we have all come a long way. Do it one more time. Yeah, these cards are really slippery. Okay. So, could you guys tell me before we start, would you guys comment? And I'm going to be doing something new. I didn't want to bring that out yet, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it out. Um, I'm going to be reviewing tarot channels, tarot readers. I'm going to be reviewing. We'll start at tarot readers, then we'll go to astrology and other things that I'll be reviewing. And this is not to cut anyone down, but this is the issue is that I've had a lot of requests uh, to where I get emails and stuff, and a lot of people ask me, "Is this a true tarot reader? Do they know what they're doing? I don't know what I'm doing, but do they know what they're doing? Is this someone that I can listen to? Is this someone that I can?" And so I kept getting those questions, like for me to like look at these people, look at these tarot readers. So I decided, why don't I just review them? And this is not to cut anybody down. This is not to put anybody down. This is just to show you guys, for those of you that have those questions, is this a valid tarot reader? You know, is this or maybe it's the style that they do that you're just not connected to, or, you know, because you're listening to your intuition, and if you're not connecting with that person, or you kind of feel like, eh, um, yeah, I'm gonna review. We're gonna call it critiquing. You know, I'm just critiquing. So, um, if you have anybody that you want me to see or review, because I know I have a couple, I already have like 4 or 5 of people when they were asking me about certain tarot readers. So I'm going to go look at them. I'm going to review them with you guys, and then we'll kind of, if that's something that you guys are interested in, if that's something that you guys want, let me know and comment below. Okay? So here we go. So this is your higher self. This is the bigger energy, the closer one to source, if you can say that, right? And we have the Queen of Wands. So you guys know what the Queen of Wands is. The Queen of Wands is somebody that's very confident, that takes action, that is not afraid, is kind of directed and knows what they want. She's a queen, so she's been through a lot. Um, yeah, if you look at this queen, if you can see her, you see the cat in front of her, and she's looking afar. So like she's looking out. She's always looking ahead. Um, she has the softness. She is connected to the earth. I mean, she's a fire sign, but she's connected to the earth in that way. She's very mm, headstrong. Yeah. I mean, she's headstrong, but she's got a heart, you know. And she's got her staff. See her staff there? She's got her staff, and so she kind of knows what she's doing. She's not afraid. There's no fear there. And she can be really good at communicating. It's just the way that she wants to communicate gets misconstrued sometimes, or there's misinformation. But that's kind of where your higher self sees you or is you. Your overall energy is very confident. Your overall energy is like you know where you're going, or you know where you want to go, or sometimes you don't even know, but you know you're going. Like it's very fiery, so it's very confident. And then this is this is your soul. I call this your soul. Other people may call it differently, but it's funny doing mediumship and doing all this other stuff. I've come to understand the soul as something different than what we think of. Maybe more of, not different, but what we think of, but more, right? So I'm still trying to like have them help me understand, or have my higher self help me understand the difference between the higher self and the soul. I'm still working that out. So anyway, this is your soul. This has your ego in it. This has your imprint of what you want to do here. This is the one, like this has your imprint. This knows. I mean, this is part of you. But this is like the desires, the ego, the dreams. This is that part of you, the physical part of you. It's all of you in this earth, in this body together, right? So this will be more physical, where this is more spiritual, right? or this will be physical and mental and emotional, where this will be spiritual, if that makes any sense, right? So you have the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles, sorry, you have the Eight of Pentacles. I can't see with that thing, with the light there. So this is the Eight of Pentacles. I'll bring it up so that you guys can kind of see it. So I see that you're working in your soul, you're working diligently. You kind of got the hang of it. You don't know where it's going. You just know that you're working on your stuff. Um, and you're doing really well at it. You're already at an 8. You know, you've done these others. You've made these others, so you've made your way in life. And you're going along and you're going along and you're doing pretty well. It is frustrating because you're at the 8 and you're so focused and sometimes things don't come about like you want. And you know that you still have some work to do because of that pentacle down there. But you're in a good place. Some of you, I feel like you're focused on one particular thing, and that's good. You know, you're trying to like bring that to fruition. You're trying to bring that to the physical, and it comes from your desire. It comes from your dream. Um, where where she kind of just knows where she's going, you're working hard to know where you're going, right? Where your higher self knows and is confident and knows you're going to get there and knows, like it's a knowing. Um, your your soul is more working on this. Um, I mean, some of you, it's for some of you, I see it's like a bigger project that you've done and that you're almost finished with. But let's see what's going on. So this is where your soul is. So I'm going to put these out and then we'll kind of see the story, see what's coming up. You may not be able to see all of them. I'll move them around as I'm talking about them. I'm going to put this one up here, this one over here, this one over here, and this one over here. Okay, so let's look. When I'm looking at these cards, I'm going to take what your soul wants and then what your higher self is helping you or wanting you to accomplish or wanting you. Here's the thing. So I'm just hearing like we've been in such Capricorn energy and earth energy that we feel like, and I think we've all gotten into the habit of we're here because we have to have a purpose and we're here because we have to accomplish things and we're here because that's your desire. That's your desire. That's your dream, right? I know it may not feel that way sometimes because you're like, I don't want to dream anymore. I don't want to desire anymore. I don't want to like, I don't want to have projects. I don't want a purpose, right? Um, and I think that we've all gotten to a place where uh, we feel like it's a mission and we have to like, and I'm not saying there aren't missions. I'm saying we feel like everybody has to have a mission. We feel like everybody has to have a purpose. We feel like if you're not doing something, you're not doing anything. I mean, if that makes sense. If you're not doing something, then you're not accomplishing anything, which makes you less than. And that's just not true. We are here to make our own individual way, whatever that is. For some of you, and I'm going to say this so that you understand, for some of you, if you're here just to be here, and sort of like on vacation and want to play here and develop this and see what relationships are about, and but that's not because you have a mission to do it, that's because you just kind of want to do it. Some of you are here to just be here. You're here to let me say that again. All of you, all of us are here to be here, and then whatever we want, whatever our ego helps us decide, whatever we dream of, that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be doing what society says. You're supposed to be doing you. So you have the answers. That's what we're talking about. All the people that are saying this, that's what we're talking about. You have the answers within because it comes from your unique imprint in this life. Now, because I do past lives, for future lives, uh, present lives. I can see that some of you, your soul has like this ongoing story in each life that it continues from a last life or from 2 lives ago or from 100 lives ago. Like it's almost like 100 lives ago you picked one thing up, you were working on it, and then you put it down for 100 lives, and then decided at this life, oh, okay, I've already grown this way, and I want to pick this up again. Does that make sense? So yes, you guys have themes. We all have themes that we kind of do and we see, but initially it's for you to, if you want a purpose, then it's your purpose and you know it. Okay? It's not like source is coming down on you and saying, "Well, if you don't do your purpose," and your higher self is like, "If you don't do your purpose, then you're just not anything." That's not what's going on. What's going on is that you all need to breathe and just say, I absolutely have done what I wanted to do. Or are you? And if you're not, that's what you need to be doing. You need to be doing what you want to do. How do you see your life? Are you one that wants to travel and learn about other cultures? Or are you one who wants to sit in front of their desk and learn about computers? Or are you one that wants to delve into cultures and do some charity? Like what is it that you want to do? Not what society wants you to do. Yes, we are co-creating, and that's where the bumps come in, is because this isn't, we all are one. I don't know how to explain this. We all are one. This isn't just uh my space, right? It's funny in my space, but this isn't just my universe. It's my universe in the collective, which we all are one. So yes, it is just my universe in a way. I don't know how to explain this. It's my universe, but it's my universe with a reflection of me, which is you, right? So, or whoever is in front of you, that's a reflection of you. That's another part of you. And we decided, our wholeness decided, let's see what we can create with our own unique perspective, being one. But I'm one, I'm all. I know how to like split myself, but not split myself. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So, if you need a goal, if you need a mission, if you need a purpose, your purpose is to uniquely go within yourself and figure out how you want to live this life. How do you want to do it? Because that's what Source is asking. Source loves you so much because he's part of you. It's part of you, right? It's saying, you, I trust you so much that I would like for you, with your unique perspective, through the genes that you're coming through in this life, to go out and show me what you can do. What can you do? What do you want to do? And then you say, well, what do I do? Show me. Do what you want to do. I'm giving you access to everything. You're part of me. So do what you want to do. You are going to have to co-create, and that's the like puzzle. That's the excitement of, let's see what you can do while you're co-creating with others, while you're co-creating with a different aspect of myself. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so getting back to the reading. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. Uh, which is, I mean, I don't do tarot a lot anymore. I do it with my clients, but I don't do it here a lot anymore. But we'll get back into it. So I see that some of your themes are relationships, which is a good theme, right? Everybody wants love. They want not everybody wants relationships, but I'm talking about love relationships. Everybody wants relationships, right? Everybody wants to connect with somebody else. Everybody wants to, am I seen? Am I not seen? Uh, Am I giving boundaries? Am I not giving? Am I going over boundaries? Am I paying attention to people's boundaries? I love spending time with that person, which is I love spending time with that energy, right? So I see that the lovers are here. You each in this group that's watching would like to find someone that just matches perfectly without all the labels. Like that just it's like when you were I'm getting this vision of like when you were a child and you used to have friends, and you used to play outside and you used to or some of you didn't play outside. Some of you played on your computer and you have friends and like you're hanging out with them because you like that energy and you like the rapport, you like the back and forth and you're talking about and you just like being in their energy and they like being in your energy. It's almost like you're trying to find that as an adult. You're trying to find that space. You're trying to find that space. Sorry, my microphone goes out. I don't know why it does that, but it keeps doing that. So you're trying to find that space where you're happy, you're at peace, but you know you can do it with somebody else. You know you can do it and sharing. It's not with somebody else, it's sharing that space with somebody else. That's what you're ultimately wanting. That's what you've been working hard here for because you kind of feel that with the lovers. Like you kind of feel, I don't feel like it's like a something that I feel like it's not something that you have been completely focused on, but it is something that's been in the back of your mind because you're at the aid. It's like you picked it up again. And it's like, okay, I've decided who I am. I know more about myself. I know a little bit more about this earth. I know about society. I'm learning that we're all changing and I'm kind of ready and just want some peace and I want to like share that with. I know that there's someone to share that with. I want to do that. But it's got to be the lovers. It's got to be like some of you. I'm going to say some of you because not all of you in this group, but some of you have such a habit of picking a partner or a lover or attracting that of um well they're going to have their quirks and I'm going to have my quirks and then we're going to work them out, we're going to grow together, right? And so you're meaning well by saying we're going to grow together, right, in a relationship, but relationships don't have to be. Yeah, this is part of my understanding of what I need to bring out. The relationships don't have to be work. Like you've got trauma, they've got trauma, and then you're working on your trauma together. They don't have to be that. That's what you guys have been doing for the last 8 years, 9 years, 9 years. I'm hearing 9 years. That's what you guys have been doing for the last 9 years is working on your trauma, undoing all of the crap that's been put on you, right? And so, in working on that and understanding yourself better, you're now coming out to a place where you're like, when I join with somebody, I know it doesn't have to be about his trauma, her trauma, and then we work on our trauma. It can be that they've they're at a particular space of peace and so am I, and let's have that space of peace together. Like some of you just know there's another person like that. You just know and you're sort of focused on that. Where you're the queen of wands, which is your higher self, is saying absolutely that's for you. You are going to get that. She's the queen. She's the one. She's like, she doesn't not get what she wants. She gets what she wants. She always gets what she wants. I mean, think about all the Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius. They get what they want. They don't care whether you say yes or no. You're not even in the equation about them making it possibly no. Like when they're thinking about something they want, it's what they're going to get. Period. That's just how it is, right? So whatever that is, that's going to happen. And so that's how your higher self sees it, and your soul sees it as I've got to work on it. I got to work on it. right? And so, but that's your ego. If you're already in a space, you just have to focus on it. That's all you have to do, right? But some of you, because of this three of wands here, I mean, three of swords here, some of you have to let go of, I'm hearing mulling. Does that make sense? Like where you mull over something where you're just like, ugh. Like you have this habit of continuing to go back and reliving the past. Even though you consciously don't do it, it's like your mind kind of slips that way, and then your emotions get connected to it. It's like your mind slips back there, and then your emotion connects to it, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in that space of thinking about why they did it, what they did, what you did, what you could have done better, and you've already done this for years, for years. You got to let it go. You got to let it go, right? You are working on letting it go, because you are in the eight. So your soul wants to let it go. I feel like some of you are so tired of this repeating thing. That's what I feel like. I feel like some of you are so tired, and I'm going to tell you right now, that's the perfect place to be. You're so freaking tired of mulling over this, of going over this, of having the same thing happen, that you're just so tired that you're about to give up. And as somebody that does this, that does this and helps people, that's exactly where you need to be. You need to be so tired that you let it go, that you give it up, that you, I wouldn't look at it as giving up. I would look at it as finally like being in that space. I'm getting this where I know that some of you have these visuals, right? So I'm going to give you this visual that I have. I have this visual of you kind of floating in the air, like maybe in space, and the letting the force sort of take you instead of you directing the force. Does that make sense? And that sometimes is where you need to be for this particular thing, because it's time to like surrender. That's the word. It's time for you to surrender. You've done all you can. You've tried to make it better. You've reworked it so many freaking times. Not just with one person, but with several people. You're like, okay, I see this coming. Let me see if I can fix it this way. And then that ends. And then another partner comes in, and you're like, oh, well, let's see if I can do it this way because I'm attracting the same type. Like, some of you have got to the place where you're like, I can see the pattern of me attracting the same person in a different body, right? The same character in a different person, right? Like some of you have gotten to that place where you see that and you're like, well, maybe if I make this adjustment, maybe if I make this adjustment, and good on you. You tried, you did it. You did everything you can. But maybe it's time uh to see, because I'm not talking about people to break up with people. I'm talking about like maybe it's time to just surrender. Maybe it's time for you to be that tired that you surrender and you let your higher self take over instead of your ego trying to rework it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay. Some of you, okay, this is the King of Swords. When I'm looking at the higher self wants you to understand this part of your energy is that you are smart enough. And if you don't know something, you can go research it. You have a brain and you have the wisdom. I'm seeing the wisdom. With a King of Swords, it's a wisdom because you've been through so much, because you've had all of these things happen, that you have the wisdom to like spearhead this, to take it in a direction that you want to take it. And I'm talking about your overall general. So for some of you, it could be, your career. For some of you, it could be your partnerships or love interest. For some of you, it could be like just how you want your home and your family and your friends and all of that, like your daily life. Okay. You are smart enough. It's not smart. You have enough wisdom. Yeah. You have enough wisdom that you can do this, that you can have what you want. There aren't limited resources. There aren't. That's what we've been told, but they're not. There's not. The way source made this whole thing, which is you, your source, is that you would always have the resources. But people play games, right? Different aspects have to be the villain because we wanted to know what it was like to have the villain and us overcome that stuff, right? So get back to your higher self and know. The Queen of Wands knows. She doesn't take anybody else's opinions into consideration. She knows, right? So she's saying that you, in this aspect, you have the wisdom, right? But here's the thing about, do I want to say it this way? I'm kind of smart. I'm pretty smart, okay? And it's because I'm so damn smart that I get in my own fucking way. Sorry about that. This is me, authentic, okay? I get in my own damn way. Nobody gets in my way. Not the government, not friendships, not family, not lovers, not friends, not finances. Nothing gets in my way but me, right? And that's where I see where your ego is. When you know so much and you have a lot of wisdom, you can get stuck in um, the fact that, well, I know it's going to go that way. Well, I know it's going to do this. Well, I know it's going to see. Like I'm thinking of aquas right now too. Like I know, I'm thinking of cancers too, because cancers will be like, well, I feel it. I feel that they're going to do that wrong, or I feel that it's going to be wrong to that way. Or if I, no, you may get a sense of what you think you know, but you don't know all of it. And it's because you have so much wisdom, and because you have, it's almost like you're too smart for your own good. But with wisdom, you have so much wisdom that you get in your own way. And that's what your higher self is trying to say to your soul. Yes, 99.9% of the time you might be right about it, but there is that off chance that maybe you're trying to take this in a different direction and you are the one holding yourself back. Does that make sense? Like you have the like take the wisdom and say, let me see if I can describe this in a different way. It's like having skepticism, like being skeptical, but a healthy skeptical. Like there's people that are skeptical that are like, nope, nope, nope. That's not true. That can't happen. There aren't aliens. There isn't blah blah blah. And that's not a healthy skepticism. That's not a healthy dose of skepticism. Skepticism would be, I don't see any aliens, but I'm open to the possibility that they're aliens. Does that make sense? That's skepticism, right? Now, that's what you do with your wisdom. You're like, nope, I know better. Nope, I've had this done. Nope, I've done da 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 da. But you're not open because you can say, nope, that's I've seen that come that way. But hey, people grow, frequencies change. We're in a different space. Maybe it won't happen that way. And I have enough trust and faith in myself that I'll know when it's going the wrong way. Does that make sense? Okay. That's what your higher self is saying to and your soul is like, "No. I'm working on it. I can do it. I'm a beast. I know how to do this stuff. I've been doing it for 10 years. I da, 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 da." Like it's like you it's like it thinks it knows and it doesn't know. Like it knows mostly, but it doesn't know. And that's okay. But it needs to like calm down because that's what it's saying with the King of Swords. The king knows, but he's open. The king has wisdom, but he's open. Like, yes, I may have treated this particular scenario this way, but this is a different these are two different people. This is two different people, these are two different people. And maybe we'll try it this way this time because I'm going to be open. That makes sense? And then you have the Queen of Pentacles. Now I see with the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands is screaming at me here. The Queen of Wands is like, it's all yours. You can have it. You understand a lot better than you did before. It's give and take, it's being in the flow where your finances are concerned, where it's being charitable and it's taking as well. And you've gotten over you guys are getting over the part, or you're going to get over the part of not feeling so guilty for taking, not being embarrassed about taking, not like all that crap that we have been told and taught and ingrained. And it's not just us, it's in our lineage, it's in our DNA. Our forefathers did it, our ancestors did it. Like, that's what Chiron retrograde these last year. How long is, I don't even remember how long Chiron's been retrograde, but that we were working on our ancestral stuff, breaking the ancestral stuff, right? Chiron is now direct. So you should have come out of this, because Chiron just recently went direct, understanding about your ancestors and where you came from, and that's why I think this way, and that's why I put myself down here, and that's why I elate myself here, and that's why I treat people this way, and that's why I like, because it's some of you it's subconscious. It's not a conscious thing that you do. You didn't even know that you did it until we went into this retrograde. Now that we're out, now you know, right? And so now you know to like let it go. How am I going to use this for the better of me, along with society? Okay, how am I going to use this? Right? And so the with the Queen of Pentacles, your higher self is saying that is all yours. It's always been all yours. You were the only one keeping yourself from it. And you have to understand, if you're not receiving, and if you're not receiving, here's a big thing. If you're not receiving, it's because you've put yourself out of the flow. So you need to go back into the flow. You need to like um, give some charitable stuff, take some action. And I'm not just talking about finances. I said this before in my other video. It's not just about the finance, it's about the resources. How can your talent help somebody in need, right? How can your talent, and everybody has talent. So you can't tell me you don't have talent. Everybody has talent. So use your talent and help somebody. And that will like begin to start putting you back into the flow of things, back into the flow of energy that has resources and finances and stuff, right? Your higher self, that's your higher self saying that. It's right there. You're the only one, you've put yourself out of that because of choices that we all made. Like, you're fearful that there's not enough resources. They told you that you're not enough. You're but whatever, all of that, right? But this is your soul is saying, how can I? I've worked on it and I've worked on it and I've worked on it, and see how you're detailing, like you're going into the detail of the mechanics of how to manifest, how to have resources, how to blah blah blah. You're like, it's almost like you've got this pinpointed focus. And it's the thing of, you can't see the forest for the trees, right? You got to step back, and then you got to give so that you can receive. And that will put you back into the flow. So your soul that wants to think that it knows everything, but it doesn't. This is what knows everything. It just knows what you're supposed to do here. It just knows what you want to do here, right? So it's saying, but I've looked at it all. I've studied it all. I've done it all, and it's not working. And I keep working at it and working at it and working at it and working at it. And you need to back up because it's here. The queen, this queen, the Queen of Pentacles, look how she's looking at the one pentacle, because she knows from one pentacle she can grow lots of pentacles, right? And see the gold behind her, see the shining behind her? It's because she's in that energy of, I'm going to give because I'm charitable, not because it makes me charitable, but because I want to, because out of my heart I want to give. Because if I can help, I will, right? And because of that, she grows this, right? She grows the pinnacle. That's what I'm seeing with this. Now, on this side, and this is to me like the future, um, you have the Three of Wands, and a lot of you, I understand what I'm about to say. I understand where you're at, right? It's like you're waiting for something to happen, and then you can get started, right? So it's like I'll keep doing what I'm doing. I'm getting from your soul. I'll keep doing what I'm doing until that opportunity or that thing drops in my lap, right? And then see how he's holding the staff. And then when it does, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to like take the next step. But this is all about like being in the flow again. You got to take the step. Like you've been working on it, it's just you're working on the one thing instead of all the things. Like you're too focused on one thing when you should relax the energy. I don't know how to say this. When you should relax the energy and look at the whole story. Look at the whole picture, right? So, like here, look at the whole picture. You got the chariot, which means you have some choices to make, which means you need to understand. You need to understand that you are the Queen of Wands, that you can make a choice, take a direction, take an action, and nobody else needs to be involved in that. Like you see your dream, so you do your dream, right? But the chariot means that you're sitting in the middle. I'm seeing you sit in the middle here. I'm seeing you sit in the middle here, but you're like acting like you're so busy. There's no judgment because I do the same thing. You're acting like you're so busy, but you won't let go of certain things. And you won't take actions where you need to. It's almost like I used to call it busybody work. Y'all know me. Y'all, if you've heard me before, it's busybody work. It's like the one thing that you should be doing, and then you're like, oh, I can't do it because I'm so busy of doing all these other things. Like you need to just you know what it is and what it's going to take for you to get to the next step, but you have to take the step. So take the step, right? And then we have the Eight of Cups. So I do see with the Eight of Cups that a lot of you, this group, is finally emotionally going to walk away from some things and maybe not look at it as walking away from some things, but walking into some new things. Okay. So this, like all these, your cups are empty. Like they're standing up and you did right by them. So you did right by these situations. You did the best that you could, but you realize that those are no longer your cups. So you're on the road to finding some new cups. See the eclipse? So because I'm seeing the eclipse, I want to say in April. I want to say in March. No, April. I'm seeing in April that y'all are gonna like finally feel, because it's cups, that you're not in that space anymore and that you're finding new cups, if that makes any sense, right? So when I'm looking at all of these, your higher self is saying you've done well. You are about to embark. No, you've already embarked. You're about to start coming into new phases in your life, new phases with relationships, new phases with yeah, I see marriage, I see like I'm not seeing I see a new land, new home, new car. I see that, but it's more about the things that you have been working on so hard in the last 4 or 5 years. I'm hearing especially the last 2 years. Especially the last 2 years. That's like coming out really big. So especially the last 2 years. Uh, those things are going to start coming to fruition. Those things are going to start becoming physical. But it's not just that, it's that you're feeling like you're in a better space. Mm. You're feeling like you're in a good space. You're feeling like you're in the space where things are coming about and you're finally seeing it in your physical, right? So see how if you look, she's looking at him or she's looking at so your higher self is looking always at your soul. And your soul is so busy working that she's saying, you've already done a lot of work. You've already done the work. You just need to relax. Your job is to just dream and then let it happen, right? That's your job. That's your mission. That's your purpose. Dream, create, let it happen. Dream, create, be excited because it's going to happen. But you, instead of doing it physically like you have been, remember to like understand that miracles happen, that magic is back. I've told you guys magic is back. And for some of you, it's like your higher self is telling you you're it's trying to give your soul a break. It's trying to say take a break. It's trying to say relax. It's trying to say you've done all you can to create it. Now it's time to like let it see like let it happen in your world. Uh and be excited for that. Like relax a little, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Um I know some of you will have the question about the relationship because this is so general right now. I see that when you can finally let go of the old, and this isn't like just with somebody, this is actually your heart was so broken that you're finally recovering from that. And as soon as you're ready and you're relaxed and you understand and you've let go, because some of you guys need to let go. You haven't let go of, because you're repeating it in your head and you keep going over it. Like you got to let that go. When you do that, there is a another soul, there is another place, there is another person that is going to come into your life because it's right here at the top. And it is because it's right above the Queen of Wands. It's coming from your higher self, okay? But you're so busy trying to think you know better because of your wisdom that you are headed you're forcing, I don't know how to say this. You're forcing yourself to do it physically. How do I say this? It's like because you're forcing yourself to like I'm going to get that job. I'm going to get that house. I'm going to get that relationship because you're forcing the energy, you're not relaxing the energy. You're not allowing life to take place because you're so wise that you think you know better. And this time right now is about knowing that there is magic. This is going to go on for the next year or so. It's time to remember the magic is real here. Okay? I hope that helps. I love you, love you, love you. Thank you for watching. We'll see how this goes. Let me know again if you would like me to review tarot readers. And we'll see you when we see you. Bye.